All right, Ryan Wilson, Tyler Sullivan in to break this one down. Gentlemen, anytime the Jets score 40 points, it seems notable. Some problems here on the defensive side for the Miami Dolphins, but ground game forward here. How impressed were you, Tyler, by Zach Wilson, by this offense, and by this running game specifically?
Yeah, it is astounding how much buy-in there is with the New York Jets, with Zach Wilson, with Robert Saleh. It feels like they are all in on what is being built there in New York, and specifically on the ground game. I mean, obviously, you look at the young pieces that they have. Breece Hall not only doing it 97 yards on the ground, he had 100 yards receiving in this game. Like you said, that 79-yard catch and run. It is a exciting offense to see. I don't know what their ceiling is for 2022. Obviously above 500. That's good to see. They're competitive against a Dolphins team that is supposed to be a maybe potential playoff push this season if they get the quarterback situation right. But the long-term future of the New York Jets, as crazy as it sounds, someone who's up here in New England, it's extremely bright. If Zach Wilson is what we've seen over the last 5 quarters because of that game last week when he was, I think, 10 of 14 or 10 of 12, and then what you saw this week, rushing for a touchdown, efficient 99.3 passer rating, this team is going to be a factor not only in 2022, but going beyond. And again, as someone up here in New England, that's a little bit scary when you have the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, and the Miami Dolphins all playing at a high level. This is something that we haven't seen in 20 some odd years in this division, and it's going to be as competitive as it's been in quite some time.
So you're exactly right. And the fact that Zach Wilson is doing the things that the Jets fans and the front office and the head coach had expected, that's the great thing, because if you don't have a quarterback, you're starting over. We saw the same thing with the other New York team this morning with Daniel Jones and how well he's playing under that new regime. And I think the larger takeaway is that if you draft well and you hit on those draft picks, you got something to work with, even if you have some old-timers that you're trying to work out or holes in other parts of the depth chart there. Breece Hall, we talked about, dominated as a runner, which is no surprise, dominated in the receiving game. Garrett Wilson contributed, their first-round pick as well. We talked about Zach Wilson, and Sauce Gardner had that interception. He looks like one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, and he's barely a month into his season. And if you look at the stats, plays, time of possession, penalties, the difference comes down to a handful of plays when everything's about even. And those handful of plays turned out to be 2 turnovers, 1 fumble, 1 interception, went the Jets' way. The issues on the other side with the Dolphins lead to a 40-burger, which is pretty amazing when you're talking about a Jets team that 2 weeks ago we thought was going to be a 1 or 2 or 3-win outfit. So huge turnover events, 3-win team, winning record, arrows pointing up. All the other cliches you can throw out there, in large part because Zach Wilson's back, and as Sully noted, they're all buying in to what he and Robert Saleh are selling.
Not long ago, Jets assets were unstartable, but here we are. Zach Wilson with 14 points, Breece Hall with 27, 100 receiving yards to go with that 97 on the ground. Tyreek Hill held in check relative to his usual performance here. 12 fantasy points on 7 receptions for 47 yards. Also had a couple rushing attempts as well. Michael Carter, 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 17 of them.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.